How'd I buy my house? Well, I'll tell you, I bought my house on a lease option purchase. Something that the realtor never heard of, and I don't think the bank ever heard of either.
And when I saw it, I cried because the state it was in, it had been stuck for 5 years.
And the rooms were painted some colors that you couldn't imagine.
He thought we should take it, that it had possibilities, and it would take us a long time to fix it up. And on that, we moved. On the promise of a raise and the future of the house, we moved.
But that was my gimmick, see. I really didn't have enough money to buy it.
The raise fell through when we came down here, and we ran into financial difficulties that I thought we'd never get out of.
Most people, just as they are in every other town in the country, are living on tomorrow's business. We go out and we borrow for the things we want today. We want 2 automobiles. Your wife needs one and you need one. We keep the house outside and inside looking a little better than what the pocketbook will afford. I think that's the way the people in Bricktown live.
The people of Bricktown, there are 44,000 of them, are working people, wage earners who live on $11,000 to $15,000 a year. When Tom and Betty Hussenetter moved here, Bricktown probably had more trees than it did people, but that was 8 years ago.
Up until that time, I had never heard of Bricktown. And we laughed when we did hear the name of the town because I thought it was just a pin spot someplace in the woods, a swamp or something.
What brought the Hussenetters to Bricktown, what brought their friends and neighbors, was fear. When America's cities burned during the 60s, a lot of middle-class Americans fled down the turnpikes. Here, at exit 91, 60 miles south of New York, was some of the last cheap land in the state of New Jersey. The people from Jersey City, from Newark, from New York City, thought they were moving to the suburbs. What they found was another city, that new kind of American city, the one without a downtown and without public transportation. Its highways filled with automobiles and its schools with overcrowded classrooms. But to the people who live in Brick, the sprawl, the high taxes, and the highways are not what their town is about.
Bless us, O Lord, for these thy gifts, which we are about to receive from thy bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
We have stuffing at this end. Keep it at that side.
What's stuffing at?
The first Hussenetters emigrated to America by boat. The present ones have migrated down a turnpike. Betty and Tom and the 5 kids, leaving the grandparents behind. Betty and Tom Hussenetter are trying to make themselves feel comfortable, putting down old roots in a new setting.
Raise your glass, and I ask that we have the same kind of year we have concluded.
They feel okay in Brick, New Jersey.
With some reservations that everyone remain healthy.
Tonight, CBS News presents 2 family portraits. The first hour is about the Hussenetter family who live in Brick Township, New Jersey. The second hour, first broadcast 2 years ago, is about the Greenewalds, an upper-income family who lived in Birmingham, Michigan, 12 miles from Detroit. The Hussenetters don't know the Greenewalds, and the different levels of middle-class life in America being what they are, probably never will. We think there might be some value in your getting to know both of them.
New York City, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. I'll break it down. New York City, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. I'll break it down. New York City, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. I'll break it down. New York City, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. I'll break it down. New York City. City, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. I'll break it down. No. New York City, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. I'll break it down. No. New York City, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. I'll break it down. No. New York City, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. I'll break it down. No. New York City, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. I'll break it down. No. New York City.
WOBM, first and foremost, right here at the Jersey Shore. 26 minutes before 6 o'clock. Let's get going. Let's get moving here. If you're catching a train in Point Pleasant or maybe a bus over in Lakewood, or you're just moving out, just driving locally, let's get going. Let's get moving here.
Most men of Brick rise before dawn, commuting by bus or by carpool, returning to cities where they once lived and still earn a living. Most days don't allow for discussions of politics and world affairs. Politics for the people of Brick is having a job and having a house in a safe neighborhood.
Come on, girls. Let's go.
It's partly cloudy
Come on,
and
Tom.
35 degrees
Ellen,
at
wait till
6
Karen
o'clock.
gets done.
An impasse has been declared by the Brick Township Board of Education in contract talks between the board and the Township Education Association.
Betty and Tom Hussenetter have been married 14 years. They have 5 children. The drama of everyday life in Brick is getting to work on time and getting the children off to school. To one degree or another, that is the way we all live, keeping time to the small details of life.
What time do you want me to pick you up?
4:45.
4:45?
Yeah.
I won't have to hang around and wait for you then. To me, being a mother and taking care of my husband and children is very satisfying because it's something, at 18 years old, I decided this is what I wanted. And this is the role I must play till my children are well off on their own and I can find something that will satisfy me then. But right now, this is not my job, it's something I chose to do, and I intend to fulfill it to its fullest. I'm very happy in what I'm doing.
Jimmy, are you getting ready?
Right here.
See you. Sorry.
What kind of fruit you want? Tom? He's dying.
He's not taking lunch.
Mom has to cut it, Jim.
The orange? I have to put them in bed.
Daddy, give me one with big fruit. Mom's got to put them in bags too, Jim.
Easy does it, Jim. I come from a family of 3 girls. I was the oldest of 3 girls. My mother went to work when I was about 10 or 11 years old, and as soon as my younger sisters went to school. My father worked nights, and we were left alone with me in charge to prepare dinner, do household tasks. Everybody was always busy. There was no time for any nonsense. Jimmy, you're coming home after school, and you're staying home, right? Because you have to deliver the papers.
Stay home. I want to go play.
I have to go out.
I want to play with you. I want to come back and deliver the papers.
Okay, fine. I'm leaving at 4 o'clock. You better be home.
Jimmy, there isn't an apple in that bag. I know.
There's also cookies that he just smashed.
I know.
The day we ran away and got married was the day I changed from being a child to an adult and assumed a tremendous amount of responsibilities. I say I went to an adult. I don't think I thought as an adult then, because if I did, I wouldn't have had as many children as I have right now. I was very young and I accepted these things and never assumed what was going to happen in the future with their upbringing. Did you make your bed, Jim?
What? My bed.
Did you make your bed, Jim?
Yep.
Something wrong with your ears?
Yep.
His name is ready, Tom? It's 7 o'clock. It's a long ride to Thomasville. Yeah, if you miss the bus, I hear.
Oh, the bus won't come till about 28.
Today might be the day it comes early.
Like Monday.
Right. Financial pressure is on us right now because they're all growing up at the same time. There's not that much difference in age in all the kids. I'd like to give them a little better education than I feel they can get in the public schools. My son has done very well. We put him into a Catholic high school this year, and he did very well so far, and I can see the difference in him. And I like to offer the same to my girls.
They tell me that, you know, I can't have everything I want because it's 4 other kids and everything. You know, this was a couple years ago, you know, when Kathleen first came, and, you know, there was 4 of us, and you still couldn't have everything you wanted. But I always wanted more and more, and I usually get more than the others do, and I don't really think about it because, you know, I got it, and the heck with them, you know. But now I realize that, and it's not really right.
Let's go. You're going to miss your bus if you don't get moving. Did you take your milk money? You got all your homework?
Yeah.
And your books? Okay.
Bye.
Don't walk in that puddle out there. If you see Snoopy, send him home. You finish your homework that you were doing?
No. I'll get the answer.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you, did you finish your homework?
No. I had to write sentences.
I wish you'd learn to do this yourself.
So do I.
I think Tom is basically happy. He has what he thinks is making his family happy, and it is in a way. He got us out of the city. He got us settled down. We have a home. We're both working to keep the home going, keep our children happy, give them what we feel they should have. Basically, just a good life. Kathleen, do you want breakfast now? No. Okay.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
One of these days, I'm going to get down to the bottom of these boxes. I'm going to get the prize.
Daddy's gonna get the prize if you don't get in here.
Well, come in and eat.
Come on in and eat with Daddy. Come on. Go over there and
Come
sit
on,
down
get
and
over
eat with
here.
Daddy.
You going to have that? Hey,
She thinks she's gonna find
do you
out.
want juice? Do you want juice?
No.
You better get moving. It's getting late.
I left Jersey City to get myself more room, to have elbow room on both sides of me. We had a problem with some neighbors that had moved in from that you know, the neighborhoods change, and the neighborhood where my mother's house was, my mother's family owned that property in that house for over 100 years, and I remember the original neighbors in that area, and everybody knew everybody else. And when you got new people in, they had different ways, and they didn't respect as much as the older neighbors did your ways.
My grandfather built this house. My mother was born here, I was born here. Tommy was 2 years old when he came back here, and he was here until he got married. Oh, the neighborhood was grand years ago, very nice. All the people, there are hardly any. I think, in fact, we're the last old ones left around here on this block. They're all gone, they all sold, and they're all gone.
As soon as the realtor knew we were from Jersey City, he made a point of telling us there were no black people in the area, even though we did not question him. Evidently, this is a question that's put to the real estate agents almost immediately. And I don't think it would have made that much difference to me if the house that I saw I liked. I'd want to live there anyway because this was what I wanted.
Has never put out a sign and said, we don't want no black people. And I don't think it would ever put that sign out. But I think that before any family comes down here, white, black, or whatever the family might be, they should realize what the difficulties are in living here, what the cost is involved in living here, and make their choice whether they want to live here or not. I don't think the town chooses them. I think they choose the town. And I mean they, quotations, whoever comes down here to live.
Again, his feelings are altogether different than mine. We have totally different natures, and we disagree violently on that subject of race and prejudice.
It's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Believe it. The street.
Tom feels a lot of pressure that he doesn't really show. He keeps a lot of his feelings hidden. If things are going wrong, he'll try and work them out before he finds that he has to come to me to say we have a problem. Most times he works things out on his own. Financially, I know he'd like to make a lot more money than what he's making right now, but I'm afraid that he wouldn't be around then, too.
Heavy rain continues to fall over here on the west side and out in New Jersey, and so often it seems as if the number of accidents is directly proportional to the volume of rain, but at least we're escaping that outcome up to this point. Over here in New Jersey, approaches to the Holland Tunnel holding up reasonably well, particularly Route 19 approach coming off the General Pulaski Skyway, zipping right through Jersey City, looks pretty good. Turnpike extension is backed up somewhat.
Tom Hussenetter is two people. Tom Hussenetter can't be anything else but two people. Number one, he's salesman, expert T. As far as he's concerned, he's probably the best salesman they're ever going to find. And if I stop thinking that way, I'm stop being a salesman.
The Jersey approaches 44680 and the PIP are obscured by the low fog in that area.
You know what's going to happen? Joe's washing the window again. We won't be able to see out of it anymore. Every time he cleans the windows, they get messy again, huh?
Yeah. Someday we should clean the car.
We certainly should clean the car someday. Why don't you do that?
The whole thing?
Sure, you're home all day.
Okay.
Hey, is that marching feet? This is no national holiday. Farmer hot dogs. Incredible. Hold on. Those are all kids. We've got another banner. Armor hot dog. The dog kids love to bite.
Just put that dog food on top of the bed. All right.
If you don't eat, I'm going to feel very guilty, and I won't even have any vitamins.
Eat
and
your
I
sandwich.
need something. Well, I don't eat as much as I used to.
You stole it.
I was
Kathleen. I'm just going to eat meat.
My daughter didn't put a fork out for us. She was supposed to put a fork in the night.
Is she taking table setting lessons in school?
She's supposed to be in today, doing the whole bit. They made a dinner
Yeah, I
and everything
know.
else.
I had to wrap up a centerpiece this morning because Karen said
That's what
they wouldn't let them sit at the table if it wasn't complete with a centerpiece.
When I went to school, they had a cane. And you learned, or you got the cane. Nobody knew about it.
They didn't have
There
a
was
cane. They just sent all old nuns to our school.
Nuns didn't use the cane. They used your knuckles, right?
They looked at you, and that was enough to say, I'm finished. I'll do whatever
didn't you
want.
learn? I mean, if you
learned.
felt that you had to?
Stanley there. Tom Hussenetter from Strick.
Love, respect, and trust. Is this going to... 2? Group 3. Is this going to be unanimous? Group 4. Group 5? Okay, that's the majority. Can someone tell me why they chose Group 5's rules? Chris?
It all just fits in with the whole family.
Right? Don't forget, you're going to have a room all to yourself now. Daddy's going to put some shelves up for you, and you'll have a whole closet all for yourself.
Oh, I can?
Yep. Do you realize you're going to be the only one that has a room to themselves in the whole house?
No.
Hey, Rich?
Yeah.
We got enough of these coming in, right?
We got about 10 of them coming in.
About 10? Okay. Now, someday we're going to fix this yard night. Now, I think you can use these too.
No, I don't think Karen's is a problem. It has any problems with her personality. She's very inclined to work around the house. She likes to do things around the house, domestic.
Yeah. What they came out with mostly on Karen is that she's interested in servicing or working with other people. So you might, in her future she might end up being a teacher or a nurse, or she mentioned an airline stewardess.
That she liked was the glamour of it.
Oh,
that
really?
would appeal to her.
Yeah.
Walk. Come on. I'm freezing. Want to take a shortcut? No. We're not. Of course. We gotta do 2 miles.
That's it. I mean, it's a trail. What else do you want?
It's a clean-looking box.
Well, you feel anything else you might want to change about it?
Just so long as the roof is tight.
The roof will be tight. I guarantee the roof will be tight. No leaks. No leaks in the sides. Good floor. Doors all operable. All right? Rollable tires.
Cleaned up, washed.
Cleaned up. That's his responsibility. He'll make sure that it goes through the shop. He looks it over when it comes out of the shop.
He'll be clean.
So you buy from us, you get a good deal. Come on, we make the deal. Let's get upstairs, sign the paper, let's go to town. All right? Close the door so the water don't come in. You see it. I'm really two people. I feel that way because I think a person has to split themselves. If he tries to be all one, if he's all job, then he cuts off his family almost entirely. And if he's all family, then he cuts off his job almost entirely. Go, go. Go, go. When I come home at night, I don't like to get calls at home. I don't like to be bothered about business. When I get out of my car and I come in my house, I want to leave my business in the car. I want to leave it so I can pick it up tomorrow morning where I left off. A lot of people frown on that. They think you should live with it all the time. I don't. I try not to. I found myself a few years ago being 100% the worker. And when I was 100% the worker, I got so wrapped up that I was really cheating my family, not even recognizing them growing up. And that's bad.
Why? Well, no, it's late, Tom. It's 10 to 7.
It's probably Grace.
Hello.
Oh.
Who is this?
Grace.
She'll have to call you back. She's eating right now.
It'll be over.
What time?
Angelica.
Oh, Angelica.
She's talking to you.
She always calls, no matter what time we eat. She smells the food.
She's getting skinny, though, now.
Yeah, she comes in the window. Go ahead,
No, her timing is always perfect. Really is perfect.
When he was a little kid, he had
Don't
a lot
eat
of
anymore,
homework one night. He couldn't stay up long enough to go to
sir. Jimmy will find his there. Yeah.
Karen is a dependable classroom citizen. Polite and a pleasure to teach. You know what we ought to do? We ought to run a report card
In the house.
in the house because we don't know what they're going to say in school. See, we can write our own report card
And see if it matches.
and see if they match, and then find out where the difference comes in.
What? Did she say I talk too much?
No, you don't participate enough.
How about me?
You really want me to tell you? I think I feel closer feeling to my children than my husband does. He loves them in his own way, but I love them differently, physically and emotionally, because they are of me. I'll clear the vegetables. What are you doing, Tom? You're going to sit there and do nothing and watch us work?
No. I have one already.
There, my dear, the master has spoken. Deposited. Yeah, I'm going to sit there. A man may work from sun to sun, but a woman's work is never done.
You're right.
Right on, my wife.
What about children?
Children should be seen and not heard.
What do you...
Try it once
Wait
in
a
a while.
minute. 4 times I tried to say something. We're missing a great birthday party.
What do I do here? Well, I always find something to do. I can always either sew or, as far as going out and sitting outside, that you never see me doing because I don't do that. I'm cleaning, ask anybody. I'm the window washer and the curtain putter upper. That's what I always do. I find something to iron, you wash, you iron, you cook. I mean, you can find something to do all the time. Yes, once in a while I go out. My husband takes me out for dinner. At least once a week we go out. But as far as other than that, I'm stuck in the house.
A weekend can get rather hectic around here. A Friday night is usually a husband and wife night. We'll go to the Knights of Columbus and sit around the club. If there's any activity going on Saturday, an affair of some kind at the club, we go up and help set up and decorate and whatever, and you meet everybody back there, and it can run into the wee hours of the morning.
Give him whatever he's drinking, please.
What you can give to the Knights of Columbus, that's what you get out of it. It gives me a better understanding of my religion, which I think is important. I'm very, very happy I joined the one here.
I understand that he is going to be the chairman of the June ball. Now, we need a guy to do decorations. We need ticket chairman. We need a ticket chairman. We need a chairman every... John D. behind me. How about you? Me and John. And John will be your backup. Yeah, well, we did it last year. Beautiful. How can you go wrong? Now we were on ready drivers. Oh, how we could Will you give him a drink? I don't mind.
The Knights of Columbus runs 90% of our social requirements, social needs. We go there to, I guess, all the fairs, the dances, the dinners, or just up there on a Friday night just to get away from the kids and have a quiet drink until the place gets too jammed and too noisy, and then you join in and have a good time.
Happy birthday, dear Peter. Happy birthday.
I have had some real good experiences up there, which I don't think I could have found. Maybe I could only compare that to the feeling I got from the bar down the corner when I lived back in Jersey City, which was a place that we knew everybody.
Saturday morning starts rather early because the children have their activities. If my son has to go to track, we have to run him to the school for practice. The two, Karen, my older daughter, and Jimmy, the younger son, go bowling on Saturday, so they have to be taken there. Ellen has recreation, arts, and crafts, and she has to be driven there. Tom usually is involved in some activity, so he's not around on Saturday.
You know, you guys down there that's waiting for your turn, keep remembering to yourself what you're supposed to do with the ball. It might look silly to you, but if you watch basketball, you'll find out this is the position, these are the things that the men have to do that play basketball. Now you gotta pick your hands up, just outside your shoulders. Okay? You gotta crouch a little bit. Now you gotta get up on the balls of your feet so that you can move. Hands up, keep them hands up.
I think sports personally is important in a kid's life. It's not his whole life, but I think it is important. A good, strong sports program is definitely important to raising a kid and to keeping them out of a lot of the problems that kids possibly get into.
It looks like a ballerina when you're out there when you're doing this. It looks stupid to you because you don't have the guy playing offense against you. But that's what you have to do to stop a man when he's playing against you. The guy that starts crossing his feet this way is the guy that gets beat for the baskets.
I never learned how to swim for one simple reason. I always had a baseball game, 9 o'clock in the morning and then another one at 3 in the afternoon and be back at night for the night game. And my mother and father would go to the shore or something. I'd beg off. I'd ask, please, can I stay home? I got 2 ball games to go to. I really like to play baseball.
We are going to look like a team when we go on the court. Anytime we play anybody, we're going to look like an organized team, not a bunch of kids that just came out to play basketball. Because this ain't a bunch of kids coming out to play basketball. This is a team. And we're going to act like a team. You go on the court, you know what you're doing when you come out before a ball game. You've put fear into the other team already. You've got a psychological edge. You look good. Even if you're the worst basketball players in the world, you'll look good. Right? Remember last year? We tried. When we tried, we looked good.
One was a scout from Cleveland and one was a scout from the Red Sox, and they helped me gain scholarships to various schools for playing baseball, and they tried to convince me that stay in school, get your education.
Come on, reach up, get the basket. No, just reach up like you're gonna lay it on the rim, right off your hand, right up in there. Right up in the basket, lay it off your hand, no backboard. Come on.
I decided, and she decided, we decided, I should say, we'd like to be married. So I did. I went and I got married, and subsequently, by doing that, I had an athletic grant for playing ball to school, and I didn't finish, and I just got involved with raising family and making money to pay for the bills, and didn't have any more time left for baseball.
Hey, Ellen!
What?
Shut the pump off. And stay by. Listen for me to tell you to put it on again.
Okay.
It's really coming fast. Even when you try to dam it off and block it down, you can see it, the way it runs right through. Just keeps coming. That's water. It's coming straight up.
So, got to come up with a solution. Can't do nothing though until the spring of the year, till after the spring, until the summer, till it dries out. I think my solution is either going to fill in the place and do without a basement, just have a crawl space, move my furnace and everything up to a utility room, or put like 6 or 8 inches of concrete on top of what's here now. Whichever way I do it, it's an expensive proposition. I got enough problems to pay for things now. I don't need more problems. Just makes my work that much harder. No way of stopping them things.
Charlie's, and this is for Kathleen's husband.
Oh, hey, how you doing? Sorry, I was detained inside. What you drinking, Peter? Need I ask?
After that.
Beer. How about Janie? What do you want, Janie? A beer? Yeah, why not? Is this for the old-fashioned beer party?
Oh, wait a minute. John Schaefer? More beer. Oh, terrific.
And he wants to be what kind of beer?
Schaefer, he really likes that.
Okay, we'll give
We don't have many psychiatrists in Bricktown. We don't need too many. We have a few parties every now and then, and it lets off a lot of that pressure.
Wait here. Have a little more.
It's like you said yourself. Why do they have to commute? You know, you didn't realize that they had to commute all the way up to New York
Well,
when
now I
living in the
understand
township.
it's just absolutely
They've got
nothing for a family man as far as wages down here.
Right.
Absolutely nothing.
They're going to be sorry they did because Dallas is going to beat them in the playoffs.
I hope the hell they do. I hope they do the same thing they did to
It's getting worse, all right?
No, it
Yes,
can't
it
get
is.
worse. No.
We have the Bergen County Park system running through Lyndhurst.
Yeah.
And it's infested on the weekends with people that come in from like Union City, Jersey City, Hoboken. Non-American people, you know, it's bad.
Did you ever go to Ocean County
I
Park?
can't take my kids to the park on Sunday.
Did you ever go to
because they
Ocean County?
overrun the whole place.
Did you ever go to Ocean County Park down here on a Sunday or a Saturday? You get mugged.
Atlanta's out of it. As of today, Atlanta's out of it. Dallas is in.
They go down. No, Atlanta ain't in that division. Atlanta's in the Western Division. They're ahead of Los Angeles and San Francisco. They're in first place.
That's right.
I'm gonna hope Atlanta wipes them all out with a nothing team.
Well, my wife talked me to moving down here 9 years ago.
Where you
Said
from,
this is
Paul?
quality. This is God's country. Today, God wouldn't take it back.
That's not the right attitude with Bob. You have to play hard to get.
But he's not going to draft them.
How can you play hard to get when a guy isn't asking you? That's when he'll ask you, when you play hard to get. No, he's not a man you can push. I don't get very tired that way anyway. It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
Right, your sweet patootie, I'm sitting See how you jump back and forth? You're drunk. I hope you're not driving.
Yes, no. I'm drunk, yes.
Does your swizzle stick get in your drink when you trying to take a drink and think it's magic?
A lot of drinking is done. I might be wrong in saying it, but I think an awful lot of drinking is done on the weekends in order for people to unwind and relax, lose their inhibitions for a while. And then they start all over again on a Monday and build up all the pressure of the week again. And it starts again on a weekend.
Do it, Johnny, baby.
John hasn't been out.
Why must I be a teenager in love? Lord, come today, bless my soul. He hopped off the bus and an Oreo. He rocks in the tree.
I grew up in a good time. I like to think that the period of the late 40s through the 50s was really a good time to be growing up.
Our parties usually run till dawn. We usually see the sun coming up, but our group broke up between 2 and 3 o'clock because most of the fellas were heading to the game Sunday. To me, it was a disappointment because it seemed like the evening just started, and I looked around and 3/4 of the people were gone, and I didn't realize the time had gone so fast. I hadn't gotten to talk to everybody who was here even.
Well, we gotta go now.
Let us proclaim the mystery of faith. Christ has died, Christ has risen, Christ will come again. Father, calling to mind the death your Son endured for our salvation, his glorious resurrection and ascension to heaven, and ready to greet him when he comes again, we offer you in thanksgiving this holy and living sacrifice. Look with favor on your church's offering.
I had to turn to God because we had a lot of problems. Jimmy had a very bad year where he had a broken leg that had a lot of complications. And you despair and you wonder why things happen to you. We no more and got Jimmy's problems straightened out when I was put into the hospital with the embolisms in the lung, and things were going along fine, and I had a setback and had another embolism. And it got to the point where I just didn't accept things anymore. I was to the point of saying, if I died, that was it. I could care less right now. And I just didn't want to accept things. And it was at that point when the priest came to talk to me and straighten out my whole life. And you learn to roll with the tide and take it as it comes.
Are nourished by his body and blood, may be...
My kids probably don't put the same importance on it as I do. They attend services because we take them there. I hope eventually that it will work into their lives as it has in ours.
Religion in my life is going to church on Sundays. That's the religion in my life, and like last year going to Sunday school.
St. Paul understood how important truth is. He told his friends, stop lying. Let everyone speak the truth, for we belong to one another.
It's true. You feel better with somebody who you know doesn't lie to you. Because if a person is dishonest, they usually have very shifty eyes. Did you know that? Now, Elizabeth can look directly at me. Anybody that can stare you straight in the face is basically Conchetta.
They rebel. The children don't want to go to school another day of the week, especially on a Sunday. But after a while, it just becomes part of their life, and they go too.
Do you get up in the morning and rush around and rush to school, get on the bus? Do you take time to say good morning to your mother and father? You do? I bet you do. Do you?
Well, my father's usually gone before we...
Oh, well, he's gone. But you do say good morning to Mommy, don't you? You come out in the kitchen, you smile.
Number 6, Mrs. Kirk and son John. Number 7, Mrs. Betty and son Dan. Number 8, Mrs. Micatoro and son Greg. Number 9, Mrs. Ox and son Jack. Number 10, Mrs. Durkin and sons Paul and Steve. Number 11, Mrs. Gary and sons Bob and Ray.
But if you lie, then it's always on your conscience, right? And that's what tells you to be good. And it's always good to be good. Good over evil, right, Dawn?
school queen is Connie Rocha. She is in the first red car, wearing a red gown, holding a bouquet of flowers. She has lived in Brick for the past 7 years and is now sadly a senior at Brick High. As a 17-year-old, she has light brown hair, hazel eyes, and is 5 foot 3 inches tall. After graduation, she plans on working with small children.
Well, boys, I guess we're all just about a little bit nervous. It's a pressurized world. All I know is one thing. Comes 1:30, somebody's got to hit and somebody's got to get hit. Choose your sides. Choose your sides. Let's get ourselves in the right frame of mind to play football.
They've got a lot of aggression. They have to be leaders. Boys have to be the leaders. Who do you think goes to fight the wars? The boys. They don't send women over there. You know why? We'll probably lose the war. Because they'd start talking and they'd forget what they were over there.
Carry out your fakes. Carry out your fakes. You explode with the ball. When you're going downfield, let's throw our bodies. Let's throw our bodies. Carry out your assignment. When in doubt, pick out a blue shirt and hit it.
Right there! Right there! Break. To the right, ready, go!
Now sit on down a minute, boys. I want to tell you a little bit something. You know, it was a long time ago that we wanted to get Montclair on our schedule. And we really tried to work to get him on our schedule. And it's not easy. And don't let records mislead you. Don't worry about what somebody has done prior to today, because today's the day that counts.
Right there! Let's go!
They don't have much of an opinion of Brick Township, and I tell you that from good sources. It's been said to me by several people that they have no respect for us as much as the state has no respect for shore football.
Big money didn't build this town. The average individual come down here, bought his house, fixed his property, commuted back and forth to work to earn his living. He's the man that built Bricktown. And he's the man that lives in Bricktown. And as far as I can see, that's the kind of people that are going to be in Bricktown.
You boys have the opportunity that many other boys from Brick Township never, ever had. You got it today. And you can go out there today and show them what type of a football team we have. Just one moment, because I want you to hear this straight. You can go out there and show them the type of football that Brick plays. Baby, let's get out there!
Dragon football is on the air from Bricktown High School in Bricktown, New Jersey, the high school football capital of the state. I'm Bob Levy along with Dick Patton bringing you still another Green Dragon football game. Today the Dragons, coached by the incomparable Warren Wolf, seek to extend their unbeaten streak to 20 straight going back to 1970. Ball game for the town of Brick. If they win this ball game, they'll be number one in the state, and that's an honor. They carry the whole burden of this community on their shoulders today.
47 pick pass, 31 power fake.
I'm part of that bloodthirsty crowd. When your team is doing it and the other team is getting it. And then when it's reversed, you start screaming, where's the flags?
First and 10, and timeout is called. We have an injury to one of the Montclair Mounties. Mike Spivey is shaken up.
Hey, we don't mess around. 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 Hey, we don't mess around.
And it stops the clock with 17 seconds remaining. And Dick Cotton, I gotta believe that for the first time ever, an Ocean County team is going to win the mythical state crown. The game is over, 20-0 Brick, and listen to these fans. The Dragons run their undefeated streak to 20 in a row. We are number one.
When I was in high school, we had a 34-game winning streak going. And I remember the football game that we lost after 34 games. And it was like a traumatic experience for these people because they did not know how to lose. And I have to count myself as one of them at that time. You know, I was a sophomore in high school, and it was like, how could we lose a football game? And I think that feeling is still in the air. It's success.
Now, the people in Brick are the same people are me. That's the people that live in Brick. They're the Tom Husners of Kearney, of Brooklyn, of New York City, of all the areas that were like Jersey City. They're the people that wanted to come down to a place that their wife could go out and do her shopping and not fear too much of something happening to her. They're the people that want a little more elbow room than to be living 15 or 20 or 30 people in a building. They're the people that wanted more for their kids.
Everybody washed for dinner? Are you washed, Kathleen?
Yeah.
Let's shut the TV.
Hey, come on.
And you sit
Come on, hey.
Let's
eat.
You sit right there.
I sit here.
Okay. No pancakes.
You don't have to eat.
Easy. No, you don't have to have potatoes. You have to have potatoes, but not potato pancakes.
I'm going to try one.
Quiet. Just quiet.
Yeah, red cabbage. Let me fix you. I am Betty Husnetter. I'm 33 years old, a housewife and mother. And I live in Bricktown, and I'm complacent right now. I'm very happy in where I am. I have no desire to leave my community. And to me, it is mine because I'm part of it.
Tweet, 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 rockin' robin.